All right. I'm trying to study for my midterm next today. So I'm gonna make it up to 4 hours. So see, take care about it. If not, another 2 things that shows up well. I'll join to call Cerberus out on this shit. You want to stir the pot this morning, P. Mark, be my guest.
Every morning.
I'm not kind of rambling.
I got banned from a Christian apologetics server yesterday morning.
Christian apologize. You mean AM?
Discord. Yeah.
Or that someone?
I was trying to explain to these so-called Christians that vaccines are from Satan. You're like muffling, or you're like rubbing on your mic. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's my floor. My bad. I'll just mute.
You just go live and mute.
Well, it's stuff on the desk now. It's just
We could not hear anything you said.
You're a terrible host.
I am a bit, I guess. Is that better? Hello?
That is
Yeah.
way better.
Oh, it must be my headset's finally going out. Give me a second. Test. Testing.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yep.
Hello? Is the internet working? Okay. Cool. What am I looking for? Scraper. What were you saying, P. Mars? These alleged Christians were being bad?
They I kind of got baited into calling this guy a F. Or can I swear here?
Sure.
A fucking child, and they have this rule of no profanity. So then he banned me, but I think he was acting like a child because I had been kicked from the server and I didn't come back for a long time, and then I came back. And they're like, "Oh, where you been?" I was like, "Well, YouTube." And I told them how I got banned on YouTube for my vaccine video. And then they're like, they tried to like debate me about vaccines or something. And they're like, "Oh, well, do you trust doctors if you get cancer? They're here to help you?" And
They're
then I
just
was
trying to sell you the chemo because they want to make money. Yeah,
well, yeah,
that bit.
I think doctors are
Well,
like glorified drug dealers, pretty much.
no. See, that's the conflation. Is that people are freaking out. Doctors are there to help, right? They literally take a vow to oath. They're literally like under a contract to do that crap. It's the pharmacists that are out to kill you. The actual drug makers. Doctors will help you.
Well, but the
Doctors aren't the
doc,
one prescribing them. They don't give you the medicine. They prescribe it, but they don't put the set price on it. They're not in control. That's why there's that separation between the two. I forgot why they did that, but there's like that stupid separation between pharmacists and doctors, where your doctors can only prescribe you what you need, but they can't actually give it to you, which is stupid,
right?
I think.
Yeah, it is stupid.
I mean, it's kind of like when the nurse gives the shot. It's never really the doctor that does the shot. It's always like a nurse or some crap like that. But yeah, vaccines will do that to people, especially with the COVID and everything going on. Oh no, everyone getting wild.
But I mean, there's also like varying degrees of like, I guess, trust, because if I broke my arm, I'd go to a doctor, right, and do what he tells me to heal it. But if I had depression, I'm not gonna like take Prozac because a doctor told me, oh yeah, this pill will help your depression. I'm just gonna go, oh, okay, you're a doctor, I believe you. Because when I broke my arm, you helped me, so therefore you can help me with this logic.
Well, see, I think that's why like second opinions exist, right? But I don't know if the doctor's making money off prescribing you the pill, then it's kind of backwards, right? I don't think you should have a doctor that does that. I don't think a doctor should be in it for the money. They should get paid well, right? But they shouldn't be in it for the money.
Yeah, it's funny, like, he didn't want to suggest, maybe you should exercise, maybe you should eat healthy, that might help with depression. No, it's a pill. It's a pill, guys. That's the answer to everything.
I think anyone who goes into the mentality of being a doctor just for the benefit of making decent money is not a very good doctor, nor probably may not make it to be a doctor.
Yeah, I think
Because I don't think they'll be able to cut it. Because there's a lot of serious shit that you see as a doctor, right? Like, you think you can stomach stuff, man? Try being a doctor in like an ER or some crap. Some random ass shit just happens. You're like, what the? I have to do surgery on what? It's fucking baseball bat in people's asses or some weird shit. You never know.
Psychopaths are attracted to the medical profession because it comes with the law. Like, psychopaths are attracted to power, so it's really appealing to be like a doctor and you can tell people what to do and stuff. Like, in high school, I used to get a ride to school with this kid who became a doctor, and whenever we were driving and he saw like a bird on the street, he would accelerate really fast to like try to run the bird over. And he became a doctor.
I still do that though.
He doesn't like want to help people, right? He's just like, it's like power and money and prestige. Like, people don't become doctors because they like really want to help people, I don't think.
It depends on the doctor. To be honest, it really depends on the doctor.
But anyways, then I brought up Bertrand Russell because I was like, he talked about he's a technocrat, and he talked about the scientific dictatorship, and he mentioned that governments would use vaccines to make it psychologically impossible to resist the state. And
didn't we already go over this where that wasn't really true?
He didn't write that in a book?
Yeah, I think this is the first time I ever talked to you. We went through this and found out it wasn't actually true.
Wait a minute. He didn't write that in a book? I've been lied to?
Well, maybe. If what we found last time holds up.
What did we find, Service?
Well, I
what
don't
did you
remember the
research?
exact wording. I remember I kept on asking you for sources, and then you didn't You gave me, after not giving me a source, after some badgering, you gave me a couple sources, and then I went and looked at them and
Right.
shared them in the room, and they weren't there. They didn't say what you said they said.
Yeah. I
Don't you remember? This is when you started hating me.
this never happened.
Okay. Sure.
Hmm. Here, I'll give you the link or the quote. You can go do your research.
No, don't give me the quote. Give me where the quote's from.
Yeah, I am. Oh, it didn't. Here. I guess there's a limit. Good lord. The book is The Impact of Science on Society, 1953, page 49 through 50. It says diet, injections, and injunctions will combine from an early age to produce the sort of character and the sort of beliefs that the authorities consider desirable, and any serious criticism of the powers that be will become psychologically impossible. So it's a combination of our food, vaccines, and what's an injunction? Is that like laws? Look up that word.
Well, it's like it's more. I think it's more specifically like enforcement of laws or curtailment of actions.
Yeah, it's a judicial order that restrains a person from beginning or continuing an action threatening or invading the legal right of another. Or yeah. So you have to take this vaccine because you violate my rights of safety.
Well, first I would point out that before I even look at the thing, it doesn't say vaccine even in your quote.
It says injections.
Yeah.
What is it? Is a vaccine an injection?
Not all vaccines are injections, but not all
I was gonna
injections
say
are
not
vaccines.
always.
Oh my god.
That is technically true. Not all vaccines are injections.
And not all
I
injections
think-
are vaccines.
Are all Cerebuses pedantic?
All cerebuses care about truth. Quoting someone properly.
Don't
Is that
think so.
pedantic?
I think you're pedantic. Yes.
Okay. Well, then pedantic must be a good thing to be.
It's not.
You are.
It's like here. I'll look up that word too.
I'm sorry, I can't help but just laugh. I'm sitting here just listening. I'm enjoying this. This is a nice brain break.
So I already know where this is going to go. He's going to show me pedantic and go, oh, wait, well, that's not what I'm being, so then you were wrong.
Pedantic is an insulting word used to describe someone who annoys others by correcting small errors, caring too much about minor details, or emphasizing their own expertise, especially in some narrow or boring subject matter.
Oh, that's probably me then. I'm
think-
pedantic to the
Yes.
core.
That is
think-
like, I think there's a
think it's
picture.
not
There's
important
actually a
to me.
picture. There's a picture of Cerebus right here. That's the definition.
But you don't think it's important to realize the difference between injections and vaccination?
No, I don't. I think you're just being annoying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your problem.
No, I think you're just pedantic.
That's what I said. It's your problem. That's
You're,
why
you're
you think-
outnumbered here 2-1, P. Mars. You're
I don't-
outnumbered. There's 2 pedantics versus 1 non-pedantic. You're at a loss, bro.
Yeah. Your wife gave you AIDS.
But yes, I gave it to her first. That's how AIDS work. Sharing.
Anyways, this fucking Christian goes like, "Oh, you don't trust doctors, but you trust Bertrand Russell." So he's like saying I'm inconsistent, but it's not like Bertrand Russell is not a medical doctor, right? Like it's a total categorical error there, for one.
Wow, this depends on what do you
no,
think
I don't know.
authority
Yeah.
means.
And it's like
I was gonna say, even from
total-
the Christian aspect, from like a man's perspective, like it really all depends on what you mean by it. Because as a Christian, you can say, well, yeah, you're placing your authority under another man. Like, even though it's not a doctor, but you trust another man's word, like Burt Russell's, instead of like some crap like that.
Well, it depends on what you mean by authority when you quote Bertrand Russell. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what he meant. But if you just mean authorities, as in doctors, that could be included in that word, then I don't see how you could exclude Bertrand Russell from that.
Good lord.
Because, I mean, Bertrand Russell's clearly talking about authorities, as in political authorities.
Bertrand Russell is a technocrat, right? Like,
is he? Well, that's the part I was talking about being untrue.
I mean, if Bertrand Russell gave me medical advice, I wouldn't trust it, you know? But if he's going to tell me, write a book about, oh, this is how a scientific dictatorship works, you know, I will yield to his expertise on the subject.
What's a techno aristocrat?
The difference is like a medical doctor is someone who's went to medical school and been educated many years in medicine. So like I wouldn't trust them because they've had all this education.
Okay, but when he's warning you about authorities, is he saying authorities in a field, or is he saying authorities as in a political authority?
Who's warning who? What are you talking about? I don't
know. In your quote you gave me, Bertrand Russell. Is he warning you about political authorities, or is he warning you about authorities in general?
It's not a warning. I don't know. I don't think you understand it. It's like that's it's the your question is nonsense because I don't think you understand.
That's right. You don't have to believe that I understand it.
I can't answer. I can't. It's like, can you make a square circle? It's like a nonsensical question service.
Well, no, that's an irrational question. But because you don't know the difference of that either.
What's the difference between irrational and nonsensical?
Things can make sense and be irrational.
Technically, a circle, like if you count a circle as in a line, it's just a line with no corners. It's a straight line. Technically, a circle is a straight line. Now I got quiet. This room turned into a circle.
Okay, there's no such thing as a straight line. I mean, it's the shortest distance between 2 points in space. And if you're in space, you can travel a straight line, but eventually you're going to hit something. So there's no such thing as a straight line. Space being flat, you know. I'm just filling in until someone starts talking. That's all I'm doing. You know. Not that it's important, just that it's a fact. You know, that's the only reason.
I just grabbed a thesaurus and I typed in irrational, and nonsensical came up as a synonym.
Oh, great. Common usage dictionary is fantastic.
It's just weird how reality is different from the things Cerebus talks about.
Yeah, it's weird that you don't understand some simple things. So, for example, right?
You know what a thesaurus is?
Yeah, I know what a thesaurus.
What is it?
It gives you literally different meanings or interchangeable things in certain contexts.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's saying that nonsensical is interchangeable. It is irrational.
It does not mean all words are perfectly interchangeable in all contexts.
Okay.
The funny thing about a thesaurus is when you look up, if you go down a line looking up a word that's a pseudonym for another word and a pseudonym for that word, you'll eventually end up with a word. Yeah, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. You'll eventually end up with a word that has no meaning in relation to the word you started with, even though they're supposed to all be interchangeable. So, you know, good luck with learning how to use that book.
Pseudonyms, guys.
Yeah.
Pseudo-woodos. I love catching them. My favorite Pokemon, and I forgot which one, gold and silver. They block your path, and you just use cut. you kill him or something like that.
Do you know of a synonym for cinnamon?
Did you know that cinnamon's actually a tree? I thought it was a plant.
I would say spice. I would say spice would be a synonym for cinnamon. Would you agree with that, Service?
I'm not entirely sure proper nouns have synonyms, unless you're just literally giving it a different name.
Only other way to give cinnamon a different name is if it's pronounced differently in another language.
Would something like a noun, proper noun, Robert, right? They could call him Bobby or Bob. Would that fit?
Kind of, but not really.
Yeah,
not the same thing
yeah. I kind of I thought so too, but I thought I'd try. But going in a different direction, Leslie could be male or female. So how would you define that? Anyway, hi Richard.
I would say based on the gender, right? If they have gender, because now that's a weird bit. If it's both, and then there's no gender, does it still count? I guess so, right? Then it also goes for non-gender as well.
I mean, it may be specific to English because, for example, in Japan, right? You know, the word, if I'm just using the word John, if I use the word John, our mind connects to a male, right? But in Japan, it could be any sex. You know, you could use any name. You know, it's any sex. It doesn't matter in that culture. You know, so.
I mean, there's always the female variations of names too, like that for John. It's John and Joanna or something like that, right?
Right.
It's always some type of weird stuff.
No, I'm saying it specifically. You can name a female John and a male John, and it's perfectly acceptable in that culture. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know. It's just okay. It could be. It's a label. That's the way they look at it, basically.
I know. I was just saying how I forgot to say I find it weird how there's like the feminized version, you know, the John and Joanne, things like that. Like, why wouldn't you just keep it the same? I mean, if you go by like name standards and like name interpretations, by just breaking it down by what the name like supposed to represent, like Jonathan is like what is that, like praise of God or God has given, something along like that's what the name means, or something like if you break it down to what it originally meant. Kind of like how you get some, you know, the names representation because they have actual meaning behind them. So like,
yeah.
So that's like, if that still means the same, what does it matter if it's by like a girl's name or something like that? Like, I always thought that was weird. Because like like the old culture, those names are, I believe, like that. Like the phrase, the meaning behind the name is more important than the actual name.
Right. Well, yeah, for people in the know, you know, because I mean, I could be told someone's name, and in my mind, it just registers. Okay, this is the label. That's what it is, right? But then, obviously, the people around this person, you know, perceive that name as something totally different, right? They give more weight to that name for a specific reason.
And names can, and especially names can have different meaning with modernism. For example, John being something about God. I forgot, like man of God or something like that. I forgot exactly what John means, but it has something to do with God.
Yeah, but
it also it can also mean toilet. Like I'm using the John, which is toilet, right? So like,
or it could mean customer.
So it's funny how like, well, then I think with John though, it just turns into a title. I don't know if it really say it's a name though. I don't know, but still represented. Like I think it could still be represented as such, with this again interpretations of names and meanings behind them.
Yeah, in context, it means different things, right? You know, I have to go to the John, you know, okay.
you imagine saying that to your boss? I have to go. I have to use you. It's so mean. I would do it. I'd get
John,
fired.
Can I call you Lou?
Like that one. Can I call you Lou? Hey Lou. What? Never mind. That's genius. I like that. Hey Lou. I'm gonna do that the next time I see a person named John. Like, hey, what's up, Lou?
Yeah, so I read the full quote, and it's actually
And just before his fist lands on your face, you tell him, "I'm from Great Britain."
it's pretty clear he's not talking about vaccines.
No, we're not talking about that thing. Yeah.
I'm talking about the Bertrand Russell quote that was.
I don't know if P. Mars is here. So I'm just taking up again. I'm taking up dead air. That's all I'm doing.
He's speculating in the future, given science, that you'll be able to have injections that will affect the psychology.
Yeah, of course. He also came up with the universal basic income, which is now becoming a reality. So how do you figure it's not talking about vaccines?
Because vaccines don't actually change your psychological condition.
What about panda's disease?
What about that's a disease now, isn't it? Is
but
it a vaccine now?
It's a disease caused by autoimmune. It's an autoimmune disease. So an autoimmune response to a vaccine could cause pandas, which does change your psychology. You didn't know about that disease, I guess.
Psychology. I'm not sure if
ouch.
I don't think
ouch. Ouch, Cerebus. Ouch.
Name a vaccine that would do that.
Ooh. Rough.
Can you name a vaccine that would do that, even hypothetically?
Well, it's based on Okay, so it works like this. There's something called molecular mimicry, right? So bacteria and viruses will mimic the molecular structure of the host organism cells. So the immune system thinks that the virus is just like tissue or whatever, like part of the host. It's called
wolf in sheep's clothing. Got it.
So what they discovered with this panda's disease, that a lot of kids were getting like strep throat, and then the autoimmune response due to molecular mimicry would attack healthy tissue in the brain, causing like changes and like mental illness, changes, psychological changes. You know, and they could. It was hard they didn't figure this out for a long time. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with these kids. So a vaccine could generate an autoimmune response like this panda's disease, I would think, to affect someone's psychology.
Oh, wait a second. But the autoimmune disease it's causing your body to attack, for example, the brain, because diseases can share markers with the host body.
Yeah.
Now, explain to me how that comes from a vaccine.
So they could create a vaccine and engineer the virus to have molecular mimicry to whatever organ or whatever they want to fucking fuck with. And they can fuck with people. They can basically give you a lobotomy, but it's like your immune system is giving you a lobotomy.
But then it's not actually a vaccine anymore. Like vaccine.
No, the vaccine causes the immune response.
Yeah, kind of. But a vaccine doesn't actually give you the cells of a disease. It gives you the proteins a body makes to fight a disease.
That's the new type of vaccines, that mRNA. The old vaccines, it would contain the weakened virus or whatever.
The non-injection ones. Yeah. Which is what I pointed out when he said injections.
Non-injection? What do you mean non-injection?
Yeah, the live virus vaccines are usually inhaled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
What about like when it comes to like the flu? Don't you get a shot?
You don't have
flu?
to.
Well, prove it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, because it's not true.
That's fine. Like I said, you don't have to believe it.
I've got a vaccine, I remember, and it
The,
was injected into me.
the only thing I'm interested in is knowing reality. Right. That's why I'm listening to you, to see if what you're saying is true.
In reality, I got a vaccine through an injection.
Cool. Yeah, people get
like
vaccines through injections.
Mostly. I've never even heard of someone inhaling a vaccine.
Yeah, because we don't usually give those out anymore.
Okay, so why would you bring that up?
Because those are the ones where you actually get the weakened virus from.
No.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah. Living viruses wouldn't survive the process to store injection vaccines. It's one of the reasons why they're not injection vaccines.
There are. You're wrong.
Oh, I guess then prove it like you wanted me to.
Do a Google search. Google will search it for us and tell us. Almighty Google, tell us what we need to hear. But like I said, isn't the flu like a virus? And don't they like inject a little bit of the flu inside the flu virus shot?
I don't know.
Or, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I think they do. I'm not sure.
No, you get a connect. Well, I forget the name of the connection, but you get connection inhibitors. That's why it only works on some versions of the flu and not others. Because not all versions of the flu connect the same way to cells.
I don't take flu shots, so I wouldn't know. I avoid them like the plague.
I used to. Probably still should.
I don't think I've once ever taken a flu shot. At least one that I can't remember or could remember.
I mean, they don't really give them out in school or anything. So unless you specifically went out to get one, you probably wouldn't have gotten one. They weren't really much of a thing when you were younger or I was younger. So.
High school, yeah, but yeah, I don't think so. I am immune to flu shots by not going to them, I guess, right?
Right. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, it's pretty clear that when he's talking about injections, it's something like, I mean, probably not exactly this, but he might have been thinking it something along the lines of like a truth serum, even. Right. Something that has a direct effect and doesn't count on there being someone having an immune disorder, because not everyone has an immune disorder.
What is your reasoning?
Well, my reasoning is not everyone has an immune disorder.
It's not an immune disorder. It's an immune response.
Okay, but the wrong immune response happens because
it's not a wrong immune response. It's a correct. It's the molecular. It's the molecular mimicry. It's not like a disorder. It would work in anyone.
Okay.
Peace and respect, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Or should I call you Dick?
If you want to, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, It's like, ha ha, you're telling me a brand new joke. It was so shocking. You know what I'm saying? P-Mars.
Yeah.
I was wondering how serious you were about a statement. You could have been just kidding around. I'm not really certain. When you wrote in chat that people in this room were unintelligent, you didn't use that word. But do you really feel like that's true?
Yeah, I think we've been indoctrinated to be stupid. The education dumbed everyone down.
Do you think it's true that lack of education or misinformation makes someone dumb?
No, I think education makes someone dumb.
So you think that proper education where a person learns truth makes them smarter?
Well, if
No,
it does,
education makes
Oh,
people dumb.
Okay, so would a lack of education make people smart?
You'd be better off if you like never went through kindergarten to 12th grade education. You'd probably be more intelligent because they don't.
Now,
Aren't
do you
you
mean
talking
just a
about-
public school?
Aren't you
public-
talking about the usefulness of the education and not the intelligence of the person?
I'm saying the world is controlled by Satan, right?
Okay.
The world, Satan. He's the ruler of the world. The
Yeah.
public education system is of the world. So Satan uses the public education system to deceive and dumb people down, and you see the result of that everywhere in life and online.
Okay, that's
and people.
a relatively fair statement. What I'm trying to figure out is, do you think that what you contact in life changes the abilities of your brain and can make you smarter or dumber? Or are you just using it colloquially?
I guess I don't. I mean, I think the brain is like a muscle that you have to exercise, or the mind is like it's something you have to exercise. And if you don't, you'll get fat and lazy.
It'll get smooth, yeah.
I think like 99% of people don't even. Well, most people don't even exercise their bodies, let alone their minds.
I have to agree with you somewhat, because until I started actually studying logic, it was hard for me to understand how to apply it. And then because of that, I wasn't good at critical thinking before that, But does that mean I was stupid before I understood critical thinking?
Well, I mean, I don't. I guess like I think people have the capacity. Like you have the same capacity.
So the capacity remains the same regardless of education or lack of education. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're using, when you say someone's stupid for those reasons, you're using the word stupid colloquially, not literally. I was just wondering.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I won't make the rest of the argument.
So what would be a better way to do it, P. Mars? Are you doing it now?
He could.
I don't put it this way. If you're complaining about it, I understand you got no solution. So if you have a solution, please share it with us.
A solution. Well, Manly P. Hall, he suggested that a way to exercise your mind is to try to have one original thought every day. And granted, it's probably not.
Well, that's rather rudimentary, man. Let's build on it, man. You're calling us stupid. You're calling us stupid, and Mr. Madsen is so kind and so diplomatic. It annoys me, right? But I have to respect that. I really do have to respect and support that. But the whole idea is he was trying to corner you, and myself, I know you cornered yourself, and that's where I've just asked you. You called us stupid, but you'd have no solutions. So you're no better than we are? Or what are you saying?
I was trying to offer a solution, but there's
what is it? Direct me to that point. I was saying,
now.
Like silence me.
I said try to have one
me with those words
each day.
No. You're just dancing around now.
Technically, yeah.
Really
Mr. Madsen expected you to dance around too, but again,
direct.
You're so diplomatic. I'm jealous. I'm not.
I have a suggestion how to answer that to Ronan. I have a suggestion for that. The revelation of truth, like the actual objective truth, always, never lying, especially to children, and then critical thinking skills.
Yeah, I'll co-sign that.
Right on.
There's a woman named Charlotte Iserbyt. I think she's passed on now, but she was the head director of education in the Reagan administration, and she wrote a book kind of talking about what I'm saying, called The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. And it's about, how the education system is dumbing us down. Richard brought up critical thinking, and the education system, I think, pushes us away from that.
Well, that's what we have to change then. People in our government who try to suppress knowledge and anything, science and anything else that benefits our society. We've had that problem politically, socially, overall. The kings had peasants, for example.
I think it trains you to look for a leader and follow a leader, like the teacher, and like that's the leaders in our society. Would
No,
be
again,
doctors.
in America, the point would be to exercise an idea, education, for example. It's not about the person in America. The government, the laws protect the person, right? But our government is basically charged with trying to promote our society. And it's their job to better education, better health, right? But they don't want to do it because of the politics of this day.
Well, there's a German philosopher, right? His name was Fichte, and he was instrumental in getting kindergarten through 12th grade education started, and then the Prussian system that we followed, that model. And he said that education should aim at destroying free will, so that after pupils have left school, they shall be incapable throughout the rest of their lives of thinking or acting otherwise than as their schoolmasters would have wished. So really, it's an indoctrination thing.
Okay, I understand that Scotland started public education. So what year would that be that statement was made, please?
I don't know. I don't have the year, but I know it had been in like 1850s, I think.
Okay, just for clarity's sake, would you repeat the man's name, please?
It's Fichte. It's Fitche. He's a German philosopher. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's a German philosopher. Fitche.
Are you saying Nietzsche?
Fichte.
N-I?
F as in fuck.
F as in Frank.
Fichte. Johann. Here, I got his name. Johann Fichte.
Oh, so you could provide me a link in the chat right quick so I can look that up, because I got to compare it to when Scotland, again, as I understand it, developed the concept or the idea of public education. So I don't know how, what time frame it is. So
it says he was born 1762, died 1814.
Yeah, that's all I need. Thank you.
Now I have that song stuck in my head. But I might go ahead and end this, guys. I gotta still study for my school, and then I got freaking I got class in like an hour, so I'm just gonna prep work for that. Because I'm getting done with work.
Thanks for letting me on your stream.
No
you
problem.
Gentlemen, have a great
talk to you guys later. Take care,
Good
guys.
hangout.
God bless.
Thanks a lot. Take care, lads.
See you, God
See you
bless.
maybe 5 or 4 hours if I get back on. I don't know. I may not. I'll be busy today as usual. So I'll see you guys. Take care. God bless.